Queen.
All right, and we are back. And
Awesome.
we finally made it through January, which I felt like it was really, really long. But I heard that your open office hours with Mary went really, really well.
It
You
did.
guys
It
did
did.
not
Feel
miss
free.
me, which was great.
We do, but I mean, you can take trips. Now we know that it's safe. Yeah, getting my local set up. We're talking today about WordPress user roles, user capabilities, and how that's all tied up with your membership site and access to doing things. I know there's confusion about roles and levels, so we're going to kind of unpack that a little bit and share some resources, talk about what WordPress is controlling and what Paid Memberships Pro is controlling. We don't have too many pre-submitted questions, right, Sam?
No, just Rip, actually, which Rip's already said hello in the comments, so we know he's here.
So if you are also watching and you think of something, just feel free to shout it out in chat. Something that feels unclear, I can keep an eye on it. Sam could interrupt me and say, hey, can you clarify what you just said? Go a little deeper, make that hopefully make a little bit more sense for people. So anything else before we kick off?
I don't think so. I will say this is one topic that took me a while to understand because you have the WordPress roles, you have WordPress capabilities, and then outside of the WordPress and more specific to Paid Memberships Pro, then you have the members. And there are different things like the membership manager add-on that we have that
Also
gives
confusing.
that a specific member more capabilities, and so it ties in. So this was one topic that took me a while to understand.
Yeah.
So I think
we'll
it's
start.
good to clarify.
Yeah. Good. So we'll start at the top. Let's talk about WordPress in general, right? You can bring my screen up or you don't have to. Either way works. So in your WordPress site, you have all these users. This is their role, and that's a WordPress recognized role. And WordPress itself adds, I think, 5 different default roles to your site, and they control what somebody can do. Basically, within the WordPress admin is where most of these controls come into place. There's a WordPress.org documentation that really explains those different roles, what each of them can and cannot do in the site. The lowest tiered role is subscriber, and that's the role that most users in your site by default will have. When a member signs up, we create a WordPress user for them and we give them the subscriber role, which is basically the ability to edit profile information, to change their own password, and to not do anything else in the site. They obviously can get into the WordPress admin, but it will be a simplified version of the admin just for their users' capabilities. And you can see from this page, they go up from there. Contributors who can have written their own posts but not publish them. Just posts, not pages, then up to author, and then it expands what they can do in your site. So refer to this page. Sam can put it in the chat for everybody. This is just WordPress and really capabilities of editing and doing things in the WordPress site related to their user login. So we talked about what they can do in the site. What they can do is called capabilities. This is also core WordPress. But plugins like Paid Memberships Pro extend WordPress core capabilities and add unique capabilities. So whatever role somebody's in, they have some mixture of these capabilities. And it's pretty granular how they get the capabilities. Like they can activate a plugin, they can install a plugin, they can edit categories of posts, they can edit other users' information or not. So it grows in strength based on what role and how many capabilities they have, how much they can do in administrating that WordPress site. But a basic WordPress user will only have the ability to view content on the front end of the site and to change their own user's profile information and their own user's password. So that's like kind of the baseline understanding of what WordPress roles and WordPress capabilities are. So enter in a membership site. Now we talk about membership levels. Some membership plugins use roles to manage access to content on the front end. From the start, Paid Memberships Pro said no, like WordPress has capabilities and its own roles for things. We have membership levels, and they largely only matter for the front end of the site and the access that somebody can have. That's what the membership level is. It's nothing about what can they edit in the WordPress site. It's everything about what they can access that's protected for their membership level on the front end of the site. I'm glad we made that decision. I'm glad we have that distinction. There are a lot of plugins that play with user roles, and I think it would have created a ton more complexity for membership site owners to be on this page and say, oh, their role is subscriber and professional and one-time access coaching $300 plan. Like it would just compile itself, especially with the multiple memberships coming in 3.0. I'm glad that membership levels are separate of roles. So I think the easiest way to separate your mind is to say the membership level is access to content on the site front end. Really, what can they do and see and view, and what are the benefits of their membership? And then think of the role more as capabilities to editing in the WordPress site, to doing things in the WordPress site's database. There's some overlap with that, but that's really the best way to think about those two pieces of things. We do have an article about the differences between roles and membership levels. Nope, here. So this is a good reference if you really want to go deep into understanding why these are different and how to think about them for your membership site. So that's I hope that explains a little bit about why they're separate and why it's probably a really good thing that you chose to use a membership plugin that approached it this way. I think it gives you a lot more freedom to do things with roles in your site that you wouldn't otherwise get if it was all membership tied up in roles. So those are the two differences. I'm going to go back to my list. Okay, so let's talk about the default role in your WordPress site. I said at the beginning that when a new user purchases from you, we create a WordPress user and then we assign membership to them. What role do we give that member when they are created in WordPress? So the role that's set on the default role can be defined in your WordPress site under settings, general. You'll see here, new user default role. I mean, I would say stop this video right now and check that. That should probably 99.9% of the time be subscriber. It's rare that you would want to give new members signing up to your site a higher tier by default.
That could be dangerous.
It could be dangerous. We've had support tickets come in where somehow that got set to administrator, and every member that gets created is an admin of your site. How dangerous is that? So make sure that that's subscriber, or make sure you've intentionally chosen a higher tier for some reason and are otherwise protecting signups, right? Like if this was an intranet where everyone had to have a secret code to even sign up, and you knew that they were all people within your organization, within your team, you were building like a team training site, of course, everyone should probably be an author, maybe even an editor, so that they can manage lessons and playbooks and handbooks and access all the things in the WordPress site. It's kind of a collaborative team environment. That would make sense, but you'd otherwise be protecting signups to get that higher tier of access in the WordPress site in a separate way. So subscriber really is the best one to use here. Okay, I'm referring to my notes because I'm going to get all unraveled and confusing to you all. Okay, so that's default role. I'm going to demonstrate. We talked about what role each user has. All right, let's start getting to PM Pro land here. So let's say you have a reason that you need to adjust the capabilities of the users that get created as part of a membership. So the best way to do that is our add-on called Roles for Membership Levels. This add-on will demonstrate in a moment. It allows you to set a specific role for the member when it's created. So per membership level, let's say you have a general community about dog loving and dog training, and it has forums. You could have a tier of membership that allows people to kind of just observe forums, but not participate in them. And then you could have another role that is allowed to participate. You could do that with roles and integrating things with bbPress. So that's like a cool use case for this. Another is if you have another plugin that's all focused on role-based management and you need to give your members some access to that. We see this a lot in like events plugins, some e-learning plugins. Like I said, forums or community type plugins are sometimes role-based. Directory plugins can be role-based also. So this is a good plugin to look at if the plugin you're trying to integrate with has different roles that it sets up and different logic, and you want to kind of bridge memberships with those roles. So let's set this up in our demo site here. I'm going to go to memberships add-ons and get the roles. It's a free add-on to use. We serve it through our own license server. It's not served through wordpress.org, but it is free to use for anyone that would like to. All right, I'm installing and activating. So nothing changes in the site when you just install and activate, this plugin, but what will change is if I click through to an individual level to edit it, I now have a new section in other settings with different roles that I can choose. So the default role that people would get with this level is now this custom role. I can say, no, keep them subscriber. They don't need a custom role. This free level doesn't get any additional capabilities. And I can say, oh, my beginner role, they do get a special role, the beginner level users. So let's create a custom role for them. So now everyone that signs up for beginner is going to have this beginner custom role, which we can do something cool with. We could have selected one that was part of bbPress there, like the spectator role. I was talking about how they could observe forums but not participate in them. It really, if we talk about in specifics and someone is trying to work with a plugin that adds roles, it's more clear. I'm just contriving reasons why you'd want to give people special access. But with roles for membership now, when people sign up for free, they stay a subscriber. When people sign up for beginner, they get that custom role. There's code-based ways to adjust the capabilities for that custom role, or a plugin I like to recommend, I'm going to install now, is called User Role Editor. Or User Role Manager. Which one? Correct me, team. I'm going to install it now. We'll see. It has like a theater
Role
mask.
editor.
User Role Editor. Okay, cool. All right, so install that and activate. So what I like about this is it's a no-code way to adjust the capabilities for those custom roles that our add-on makes, even for the custom roles, built-in roles in WordPress, or to give an individual user in your site it's their own custom capabilities just for them, which is really helpful if you have different people helping you run your membership site and you really want to control what they can and cannot do. So this is a very cool plugin for that, pretty powerful. But if you go to users, user role editor here, I find the interface a little bit confusing, but the more you use it, the more you'll see. So here, for example, the subscriber role, what can they do? They can just read content in the site. We have our beginner role, which we just created. So what role do they have? They have the same capabilities by default as the subscriber role. So we used to have a bug in this where we would create the role, but it had no capabilities. So that's fixed now. It just inherits the default WordPress subscriber roles capabilities. What if we wanted to expand on this and give them more capabilities? So all of these items here are all individual capabilities you can give a user in the site. It's pretty granular, all the things they can do. I don't know what we'd want to give them. You'd have to really think of it. Do we have an idea? What do we say they would be able to like
view the forum? But or no,
view
that would be
forums? Okay. So what it does have is like, I don't think I have a forum plugin. Let's activate a forum plugin in the site so we can see those all here. Hello, Bumblebee user. Sam likes bumblebees. If anyone needs to get Sam a gift. Okay, so now we have bbPress active. We should be able to, here for custom post types, so forums, we could say like this person can publish a new forum, or this person can publish a new topic, or edit a topic, or read a thing. So it really lets you kind of piece together what the beginner member can do in the site based on their role, based on their capabilities. Very confusing, but this is a great plugin for doing that. And I'm going to show something else we can do with this plugin in a little bit, but that's how I recommend people manage what people can do when they're using our roles add-on and manipulating what access people can have in the site. So that's that one.
You must be explaining this really great because I have yet to have a question come in.
Oh, maybe everyone's just like their brain leaked out of their ear. I hope that that's not the case. Okay, cool. So from now up till now, we've been kind of mostly talking about front end things. What are members able to access in the site? What are members able to do on the front end, like with a forum, with a community, with a listing, yada, yada. The next one I want to demonstrate is capabilities in the admin of the site to help you as a membership site owner do more things with your members and manage your member data, process orders and refunds and all of those things. So we do have an add-on called Membership Manager Role, and it creates a new custom role that has a bunch of the capabilities that are needed, but none of the ones that are like too far for your site. So let's install this and then we'll see what it is. It's basically a way to give someone access to the memberships management area, but not the entire WordPress site. You don't want them to like edit every page on your site or be able to change like your Mail Poet send. I have Mail Poet active on this. It's a role where you don't want someone to be able to like broadcast a new newsletter through the site or change your site URL or site name and break your site. So it creates some safety for you.
We do have one question now.
Let's go.
Do roles get assigned specific cookies?
No, there's no specific cookie. If you want to explain your use case, or if you have an add-on that or a different plugin that uses roles and cookies in a unique way, it's possible. Because the user is logged into an account with the role, it might just magically work. Might not. What am I looking for? Membership manager. Why am I not seeing it? Okay, here. I think because I searched for membership and like everything has membership in it, right? Oop, I opened the tab here. All right.
Are there any issues to using all three of these of the add-ons together with user role editor?
Nope. None at all. The good thing about membership manager is that we maintain the user role editor. You could basically recreate the membership manager role by creating a custom role and giving all of the capabilities in PM Pro. You just have to go back to it once in a while and to make sure if you've added a new PM Pro add-on that you've given a new capability to that role. We maintain it for you in Membership Manager. So that's an option. If you don't have a Plus account or otherwise need one, you could just use User Role Editor. Am I saying it right? User Role Editor or Manager? I'm going to editor. You could just use User Role Editor to create a custom role, call it whatever you want, Kim's Dog Site Manager, and add just the PM Pro capabilities that you need to that user. That's also possible, but there is no conflict between these all in the site. Okay, so we installed membership manager role. So let's find someone that we'd like to give that role to. Good old August Dibble. I've been using him in my site also. Okay, so I'm editing.
We use August for everything.
We do. I think because his name's first. We need like Autumn Dibble, and then she'll be our next victim. So on users, all users, I can change a user's role by editing them in the WordPress edit user screen. And you'll see here, role, it's kind of towards the top. This page gets really long and hard to manage. But let's say we want to make them a membership manager. All I have to do is change that drop down. I don't change anything else about this user. And now this user has that access. So I think I have it installed. Another plugin, which is great to use when you're running a paid membership site, is called user switching. Let me open this up just so you can see which it is. It allows you, when you're browsing that users list, to like not have to log out and log back in as someone with different access. You can just dynamically pivot and say, like, oh, I want to be August now. I want to go back to being Kim. So I love this plugin. I pitched to have it installed, built into Paid Memberships Pro, and they were like, just tell them to use the user switching. I said, okay, you're right. We don't have to add it. So now I switched to August. So the front end of my site is very much like it was when I was logged in as an administrator, when I was myself. If August was in the back end of the site, now they can access the memberships tab and they can see all the things you can see here, but they can't do like edit posts and pages. They can't change permalink settings. They can't export all of your content. So you'll see there's limitations here. I have a plugin called Toolkit active. That's why this is available. I was saying how we manage what capabilities. Toolkit's an add-on, but Membership Manager recognizes that there's capabilities there that should be a part of that person's role. So that's like the reason I would recommend using the add-on, but you can, like I said, do it with User Role Editor. So it's pretty powerful what this gives. Membership Manager gives access to all of it. So they could edit. If you had someone angry and they're like, you know what, I want the money instead. I'm going to reconnect this to my Stripe account. So just be aware it's not completely safe. You would want, Sam can edit our Stripe credentials in our site if she wants to. Now she knows that. No. But hopefully you're working with people that you trust. And then if you needed to, you could reduce those access points. So let's take a look at what we could do. I'm back as Kim now. So now that I have Membership Manager active, I think if Kim White's watching, this is something she likes to do. You can select Membership Manager and then you can duplicate it. So let's make a new role. We'll call it like membership supporter. It has to be we'll just call it membership support because it didn't like my very long name. And you can make it based off another role. So that's what user role editor does for you. I have membership manager active. Now I'm like, that's a little overpowered. I don't really want August to be able to change my Stripe keys. Let's scale that back a little bit. And I'm going to clone membership manager, and then I'll remove some capabilities. So here we are. Now we have one called membership support. If you click that granted only, it's going to filter and only show you some of the things. So what do we want somebody who needs to really be an account manager in our membership site? Not so much changing settings, but managing the accounts. So let's remove some features. I don't want them to be able to change the emails I've custom crafted. I don't want them to be able to edit my membership levels and change pricing for things. I don't want them to change what front end pages on my site, my payment settings. I don't even really want them to access reports in my site. I think everything else is pretty safe to keep here. Approving members, that would be useful. Advanced settings, let's turn that off. Installing and deactivating add-ons, let's turn that off. So we try to make the capability names pretty clear about what they do. It would be great if I had a better doc. I do have a developer doc of the capabilities in PM Pro, but it doesn't really explain what it allows them to do. I'll submit a doc update request and we can expand this of what does that access actually mean? What does PM Pro add-ons capability actually mean? It means that they can get to that screen, they can click install, they can click activate, or they can deactivate an add-on. So if we can make this expanded a little bit, it'll help you see what granular access you're giving when you get down to the nitty-gritty of these roles. So now we've you made the doc update. Thank you. Now we've reduced membership manager capability into a new role called membership support. So let's edit August again. And then we'll be like, sorry, August, we realized you don't need to be able to change our account keys. So we're going to reduce your role here to membership support. And user switching, you can also get to it from the single user edit page, just like this. So now August can't see those other tabs. He can't see the settings. He can't install and activate add-ons or change our license key or any of those things. Really just members and orders are where a person with this role in our team, even though I shouldn't say the word role, this job title in our team, what they need to be able to do. So viewing orders, processing refunds, canceling, upgrading, downgrading, all of those things. So that's kind of a tied up in a knot membership manager, individual roles and capabilities, and the user role editor, which is a great plugin to use alongside these. I'm going to pause. I have a bunch of recipes we could dig into and code, but let's hear about some use cases. Let's hear where the confusion's still sitting in everyone's mind.
So we do have a few comments going on. So William was asking about the cookies earlier. And so William says, my site has Ezoic ads, but I offer certain paid membership levels for ad-free experience. Ezoic can't discern subscriber from a paid level to prevent ads.
Oh, okay. I'm going to find the chat. It's like EZOIC. Okay. There is a feature for hiding ads in Paid Memberships Pro. So if we could even reach out on the contact form, or we can try at the end of this, the last 10 minutes to dig into it. Usually an ad plugin like that is hooking into your footer or your header of your WordPress site, or if you're placing them automatically, maybe you say like, oh, put the ads like within post content, after the post, in the loop, between the third post and the fourth post in the loop. So what the better way to do it is to unhook ads with our hide ads feature. So I think I can find the documentation for it. So that's probably the strongest way. I'll show it right now real quick, even though it's, yeah. All right. Memberships, settings, advanced settings. And then there's hide ad from members, hide ads from certain members. You can choose different levels here and then use the function PM Pro display ads to filter out the Ezoic ads. We can give you the code for that, or you could custom code it just with the PM Pro has membership level function to check their access and then unhook the Ezoic ads. That's how we've helped people do ad free in the past. But It's possible it works when
It
the
doesn't.
user role. Go ahead.
William's saying it doesn't work with it. I hope I'm saying it right, Ezoic.
Mhm.
But Jason is also chiming in and saying that he's been looking at the Ezoic plugin and it's hard to test because you need to be signed up for their SaaS.
Oh, okay.
He says we could try to work with Ezoic to get them to support that natively. There are reasons we like to set cookies per membership level, so that's a decent gist for our team to put together.
Okay. So we'll look at it. I'm sorry, Will. I didn't realize I should have come back to you, and then High Dads doesn't work. I go down this rabbit hole. But yeah, maybe we'll try to put it just together. But maybe if it looks at roles, maybe it would work out of the box. I don't know if you switched roles this way.
Okay, so then we have a couple people who are watching that said that they don't have any questions because they currently don't even have any users or members yet. They're still trying to like get the ground running on it. So to Kent and Eileen, I would just say, subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you haven't already, sign up for emails via our site. That way you get some more information on, how you can get started. And we have an email series for top blog content just to kind of, get you through setting up and starting that membership site. So stick with us. You got this. We believe in you.
You don't need roles or capabilities to use Paid Memberships Pro to build a membership site. You don't have to. Any of this is probably, next level beyond for getting set up, because Paid Memberships Pro with the subscriber role user doesn't mean anything to Paid Memberships Pro. You're going to be protecting access to content with Paid Memberships Pro tools by membership level. So people's access is controlled in your site on the front end just with Paid Memberships Pro. You don't need any role manipulation for that for most cases.
Jim says no questions, but I think I finally understand user role editor. Thanks.
Nice. Yeah, it's a really powerful, really great plugin. I hope it stays open source. I hope it stays as cool as it is. Yeah.
Rip asks, can you export member role editor user role settings from one setting to another, also using member role editor?
Oh, so clarify for me if this was a custom role you made in user role editor, or if you're trying to migrate PM Pro settings between two sites. Let me check. I can check here if they have like an export. Settings, user role editor, tools. No, not permanent delete. We want to migrate. Doesn't look like they have a migration.
Yes, custom role created.
Yeah, I don't see a migration. That's a good feature request for them. Hide this banner.
Yep, I would be going on to .org and submitting that for sure.
Yeah.
Or GitHub or something.
Yeah.
Submit a feature request.
I imagine it's just stored in options, but I don't know for sure where that's stored. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. If you
Kim White is saying the paid version of that add-on has the export option.
Oh, cool. Okay. I guess on the topic of exports, if you are moving members between two WordPress sites, you can, with our import members from CSV tool, import a custom role or a different WordPress core role as a column of data. So if you are migrating data and you're going to do an import of members, start by getting that custom role set up in the second site. And then when you do your import, update that column for role to use the named custom roles you've created or different core WordPress roles if it's membership wide. It's not just one or two people that you want to manually adjust to a custom role.
All right. Okay, so Kent, who is also one of the ones who is just trying to get everything set up, is asking, what are the best tips to check and test how new incoming visitors will see memberships available and be in staging editing? I use multiple browsers to see. This is a nice little sneak peek.
Yeah, I have to get my demo site up. So right now with Payments Pro that's on the market today, you'll have to do that multiple browsers thing, log in, log out. You can use user switching to an extent. It works pretty well. I like that plugin to do those kinds of things. But really, in the day-to-day management of your site, it's not as fluid to switch user accounts or to log in and log out of your site to see what different people will see with different access to your site. So in 3.0, we are going to build a view as feature into the plugin. So let me see if I can get my other demo up to show that. So, I mean, it is good to log out of your site, use a different browser, and start fresh, start to finish as a person browsing the site. You know, there's a trick. I can just type this here. See how I added +1 to my email address? If you don't have a lot of email addresses to be testing with, but you want to actually get real email, it's a trick that I have never been able to write up properly to explain, but you can use, like, if you have a Google email address, let's say kim@gmail.com, that's not my email address. You can use this plus trick to create additional users in your staging site and get email and see the experience. I know with testing, it can be hard because you're like, I'm out of email addresses. What do I do? You know, I delete the user. What are you going to do? But that's a cool trick to do there. So this is a site on 3.0 already. So let me go to the blog. Do you see this view? This is a really ugly site because it's just totally torn apart with my testing. But this view with access is something that's coming in version 3.0 of Paid Memberships Pro, where as an admin logged into the site, I can say, view this content with, without, or as myself, as my current level. So let's see if I have is this even?
Just so you know, we can, when you drop down, we cannot see the options. So you may have to click each individual one for us to actually see them all.
So I'm viewing right now with my access, which it looks really weird because I have all this testing of these blocks here, but I can also say view without access. So every block that has protection is going to show up as protected, but I didn't have to log out. I didn't have to change my experience. You'll see I'm now in like this red locked mode of the site. And then if I wanted to say unlock everything, just show me if I had access to everything. So now you'll see these are all these weird blocks on the site, but now I'm in like the kind of green unlocked mode. So that's going to make it a lot easier for people managing and running membership sites to get those previews without manipulating different browsers or login and logouts or user switching. So that's a cool thing. But I always recommend people to still go through those motions, start to finish. Log out and just browse your site as a member would. I even recommend that if you're like, my buddy wants to sign up for my site and I want to do it for him. What do I do? It's like, just log out of your site and create an account for them and go through the process. Because then you know everything's happening as it should. So don't skip that step. But I hope this view as feature is going to help people a lot coming 3.0.
And said, yeah, every bit helps. PM Pro is a big tool set for an already dizzy head. Lots of potential. My use case, I don't have any examples. Ha, I follow well. Tell Kim I'm laughing too.
Good. Yeah, definitely for developers, Rip. I saw that comment. You like add something, you protect it, and you're like, okay, what does that look like? I can still see it. Just that one-click toggle to view in different modes is really cool.
Can you suggest a good plugin to monitor user back office activity?
Man, shout it out, team, if you have some. I think the one I've seen, there is one that like logs everything in the site. Oh, what is it called? Is it this one, activity log? If anyone's seen these come up in support that's watching, Publish Press, I don't think it exactly does the logging that we want. Might be this. Let's see. Let's read about this one. I've never used it. But it looks kind of like what would be needed. Monitors login activity by admins, plugin and theme activation, publishing posts, updating posts. Someone trying to log into stuff. This might be one to check out. Maybe a cool upcoming demo. Yeah, I haven't used it, but if anyone can share one that they've used that they like, that might be a good one.
All right. And then Pam asks, if member changes levels, will the role automatically change?
It will, unless you're an admin, or if you have a higher tier role. I think there's protections in the roles for memberships that won't downgrade somebody's access if they have like a higher tier in the WordPress site. So I can sign up. It will. It changes the role when they change levels. It puts them back to the site default when they are canceled or their membership ends. We can test it. Let me add a role to this enhanced. That one has one. My test site already had some roles set up. Okay. We're going to sign up as a beginner, and then we're going to sign up. We're going to upgrade to a enhanced, and we should become both roles. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Okay.
Rip says unless they're an admin, correct?
Okay.
Is that right?
Yes, unless they're an admin. It won't downgrade admins. It doesn't change roles of admins on sign up or based on level. Okay. So now I'm this user. Oh, but I want to show that I actually upgraded my account, right? Let me log back in. Okay. Oh, I messed this one up. Okay. This is why we need to be able to switch users, right, people? All right. So you see this person is membership level beginner, and they have the site role of the beginner level. Additional roles, beginner here. I'm going to change my membership level as that user, and then we should become the other level. This might take me to WordPress. Oh, I'm not trying to do that. I think I'm trying to get to the front end of the site here. Compare plans, enhanced. I probably didn't have to go through this test, but we use these as an opportunity to find bugs also with certain plugins. So it's good that always, not just for me to assume and say, oh yeah, that's how it works. I think that wouldn't be fair. Okay. Let's find our user, and they should now be enhanced. Yeah, so it changes the role on level change. And then if we were to cancel this person in the admin, we'd want to manually change their role as we're doing that process. But if they cancel themselves on the front end and remove their level, it'll just take them right back to the site default role, the subscriber role.
Awesome sauce. NF Graphic Design says, is there any thought to adding a function to allow role levels to change automatically based on the member's age entered by birthday on sign up? Interesting.
I know the reasons you'd want to do that, because if people are under 13, they really, for some membership sites, you shouldn't even allow them to sign up. I bet that's possible with a custom gist. We had one before that restricted sign up based on age. So I don't see why you couldn't. You can manipulate the WordPress user object that gets inserted when the membership sign up happens. So you could certainly hook into that checkout process and change that information based on a user submitted field. So it's not a gist that I think exists currently, but it is definitely possible, since we have one to restrict membership sign up, I'm sure, and we have ways to manipulate role at checkout. So I'm sure that one's possible too.
I don't recall the recipes that you're talking about.
I don't think we ever published that one, but I've seen it floating around. Yeah, I've seen that with dating sites a lot. Even if you select who you're interested in at checkout, it assigns you a different role, because certain plugins that are related to like the social networking side of online dating are role based. So people were using checkout fields to manipulate the user object so that they could use that third party tool more seamlessly. They would know like, oh, okay, women seeking women get this tag in my system. And it was easier for them to hook the two up together, the two plugins.
Very interesting.
Yeah. I've been doing this 13 years. I've probably seen most. I like to be surprised though, but not in an embarrassing way on this live chat, please. Thank you. Jason said I need to protect those kiddos. Yeah. I'm surprised that doesn't come up more. I don't know.
Like age restricting.
Yeah.
13 or higher or whatever.
Yep.
Kent has an idea for you about maybe you could speak to the idea of selling a membership to entice new customers with a 2-time or even 3-time payback discount on services that require usually an on-site estimate, 10 payment plans, etc. We're always looking for ideas for open office hours. So if anybody has them, please give them to me. One day I will run out of ideas of my own. So if you want to hear about something, please tell us.
That one I'm wrapping my brain around. But if you send in an email with like an expanded idea of it, we could put it on the queue or just kind of get back to you with what how we'd go about it. Is it a one-time discount, or is it as many times as you have the membership active, you get the discount? Are the services delivered in person or virtually? We have some people that use our membership card to validate membership at like point of sale for a physical store, like a loyalty card. I don't know if it was like that or if it was for online-based things, or if we do integrate with WooCommerce. So you could use Paid Memberships Pro to sell memberships and then offer discounts in your WooCommerce shop for, service packages, let's say. Sell them through WooCommerce, but if someone has that active PM Pro level, the pricing is different for them for the products in the store. So I don't know. Those are the two that come to mind quickly, but you can email us through our contact form and expand on that idea.
Yes, please do. Beyond that, I don't have any more questions in the chat. So if you wanted to dive into the recipes for
I can
about 20 minutes.
I'll show a few of them in our site. So I don't necessarily have to test these, but I can just tell you these are caveats of roles and other things you can do if you really expand your brain for what you want to think about here related to roles and capabilities in the site. So this recipe is designed for sites that decide later on they want to add the role-based level relationships, but they have existing members. Oh no, I'm talking about this one. Here's my brain. Okay. This is that one. So you have membership site, you have 2,000 members, they have their membership levels, they're all subscribers in the WordPress site. And then you're like, oh, I really want to integrate with this Event Espresso. That was one that came up in support recently that has these role-based things related to event attendee and event ticket. Okay, how can I fix my data? Because I'm going to add this roles thing. From this point forward, all of my new members will have the appropriate role for their membership level assigned after checkout, but all my existing users, all my existing members, are just subscribers. So this is the recipe to check out. It'll just do a one-time bulk update of everybody. It'll look up, okay, what level are you? Okay, what role is you supposed to be? Boom. And just go through that whole process and clean up your data for you. So that's a cool one to check out. This one we kind of demoed, but it's that code-based approach. If you didn't want to install user role editor and have that plugin in your site, this is the code-based approach to say, okay, we're going to create the beginner level member with the beginner role, and we're going to let them have this additional WordPress user capability. So in this example, we have a role called PM Pro Role 30, which must be for an ID level 30, and they want them to be able to edit and delete posts. So you can add individual capabilities. Any capability we saw in that user role editor list, all those like underscored individual capabilities, you can manipulate the role that gets generated for that level with custom code, or you could just use user role editor. That's that post. This one's about role-based a little bit. Paid Memberships Pro has settings to hide the WordPress toolbar, this black bar at the top here, based on the subscriber role. If you had additional roles that you also wanted to hide that for, so you install, you're switching roles of your members, but they're still seeing that toolbar, you would need a recipe to say, okay, subscribers and level 1s and level 2s and level 3 roles should also be hidden. And the same with this toolbar. We only hide it if it's, that's the toolbar and the access in the dashboard. We only hide it for subscriber by default, but there's a filter in place to add additional roles to that hiding. This is how to actually go about updating user roles and capabilities for editing users and how you do that. That's that one. What else did I pull up here? And that's the hide thing. So those are all kind of recipe-based, code-based. We don't have to dig into them today. We've never ended an open office hours early, but there can always be a first.
Yes, we have.
Have we? Okay.
We have. But Pam is
Infrequent.
actually asking, just for grins, could we change that test user back to basic membership to see what happens to the roles?
Sure.
Your Kim test that you were playing with.
We're putting this through the real
test.
I want to log in. Real test. Kim test. It was still in my clipboard, so it was meant to be.
Yes. Okay. And while you are working through all of that, someone is asking, will this be available for review later for us hands-on learners? Yes. We are no longer taking down the open office hours. We're leaving them as replays on our YouTube channel. And if you want to know more about like when we're going live and seeing everything, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Like and subscribe, please.
So it put Kim test back to beginner. You can see under that additional capabilities, and here we were looking at it here before. So I was beginner and enhanced, and now I'm beginner level with beginner role. So we should also just cancel the user if we're going to do a full test here. Hold on, log out. I'll have Pam cancel, or not Pam, Kim test cancel for Pam. All right. Oh, membership account here. Where's my link? Here we go. Cancel. All right. So now I don't have a membership anymore. This user should have no membership level and only subscriber role. We're gonna make sure.
Jason says, does the like button work if you click it, or do you have to smash that like button? And I'm going to say, you're going to have to mash it.
Jason doesn't always watch. He like intentionally was like, I'm going to watch you from the house. Yeah, so now the site role, let's see.
Yeah, Jason's not in the comments very well.
Look, it took away the role completely. We found a bug. Thank you for having us test this fully, Pam. Unless I have a weird version of the roles add-on, I downgraded or I canceled membership and it took away my subscriber completely. So good to find a bug. Andrew will fix that tomorrow. No, we'll see. But it did. It said no role for this site here. So bug, somebody logged that bug. It shouldn't do that when the membership cancels. It should put them back to site default. That's what I was saying the whole time. So I'm glad we tested it fully.
Do you have a snippet that could make it happen that way?
I don't think I do, but good to think that. I don't think I have any. I do have snippets in the site, but I don't have any like take away my role that I can think of. See if there's an issue. Default to site role. There's a few PRs on this one. Probably worth getting it out. We don't always time the open office hours with the development all that well, but maybe then they can look at that one and just test once more. I'm not on 3.0. I'm on the current version of Paid Memberships Pro. Cancel the user from the front end of the site as the user, and the role was set to, there might be a PR. Okay, Jason's saying there might be a PR. Good.
Yes, yes, yes.
I like that. Just for grins. I'm going to say that.
Just for grins. That's better than...
Oh, you're welcome, Pam. No, we're happy to.
We humored you and we found a bug, so... Dio asks, how do I restrict PDF books files uploaded from WordPress Book Gallery plugin to be accessible by only subscribed members of my Paid Membership Pro?
I've never used that plugin. Do you have a link? I don't know if they let people attending share links. Let's try to find it. If it's in .org, WordPress Book Gallery. We have an add-on called Custom Post Type that adds the same protection to a post and WordPress page that PM Pro puts by default to other post types in your site. We just made this fun graphic for this one, for this dog food recipe site. But let's see if we can find this plugin. Oh, WordPress Books Gallery. Is this it?
And Kim White is also suggesting our locking down protecting files blog post.
Yes. Some of the
Which
I
can share the link
I
to.
would say we should check at that too, but depends how some of the plugins that serve up a file have their own built-in file protection. So it may or may not be needed, but we will grab a link to that. I'm going to put my son's report card as my book. I know that's a PDF that I have around in my life right now. He
Straight
did
A's,
very
right?
well, guys. He did so good, guys. Is that how this works, though? Oh, I'm not adding media. I bet there's a way to upload the book. Add a file. Here. I have a PDF here. I could have just used that. Well, let's add the Isaac's report card. Okay. Let's
You
see what
also have our
happens.
migration guides on your computer too.
Oh, it's mad at me.
Oh man, you broke it.
Why is it mad at me? Did anyone ever see that error before with that plugin? I really did add it though. All right, I'm able to just download it if I want. So let's see if we add the CPT add-on, how that works. I didn't add it yet, did I? No, I'm ahead of myself. Memberships, add-ons.
Jason says it looked like a warning.
But it had a role-based warning, so I don't know if it's an incompatibility. Wrong button. Okay, now that this is active, if you go to memberships CPT access, it'll look, and it looks at your WordPress site and it's like, what other custom post types do we see here? I have the courses for membership add-on active, so I have these two here, but also this books one, I'm going to guess is the one. I'm going to say don't redirect and we'll just see what happens here. So books. So now I have the books plugin. I have Payments Pro set up, and then I added the CPT add-on, which is going to give me the ability to restrict access, just like posts and pages, to other post types in the site. Let's see what happens. If I click here, now I have require membership. Let's say all of these people can see the book. Doesn't like my user. I don't know, guys. If anyone's getting that with this, it could just be my demo. It did save the information. Okay, so now membership is required for this book. Let's view the book. What does it do? I have access, right? Let me take away my membership level. All right, now I don't have membership. Okay. No, it's not doing. Okay, so with I'm going to set it to do the redirect way. Books. Nope, membership, CPT access. Okay, redirect to the membership levels page. So we can protect the CPTs, but the way that CPTs get rendered on the front end of your WordPress site is always kind of a mystery. Paid Memberships Pro protects the WordPress content output by a hook called the content, by a function called the content. And lots of CPT plugins add their own ways. You saw how fancy that book page was. It had like a graphic and a title and a button. The way that that plugin is hooking into the WordPress site and showing its content falls outside of where Paid Memberships Pro can protect. So we have this fallback way that says, if they don't have access, just redirect them away. So it should redirect me if I try to hit a single book page to the membership page, which you just saw. I tried to view the book and I couldn't. So that's I can't view it because I'm not an admin. Let me give myself a membership so I can actually get back to it. So any questions right there so far what we've done? We have CPT access set up to protect a custom post type made through this WPG Books plugin. I protected it and I set it up to redirect because we didn't like the way that it was loading the single post page. So let me give myself a level that should have access. Did I say beginner? I don't remember. To the book.
Yeah, everybody but free has access.
Okay. And now I can view it. So it's not kicking me out of that page. So you can set that up with the CPT access. The thing Kim said was to protect the actual source of the download. So let's pull that up. Oop, paper. Check out these recipes, which also require you to do some things in your server to protect access in your htaccess file, which maybe we'll do a protecting files open office hours. Jason will do that one. But this is logic to also protect the attachments to that book. So right now the page is protected, but I could say like, hey, Sam, I found this book. I'm going to email you a link to this book. You don't have to be a member, which you wouldn't want people to be able to do if it's a feature of your premium membership. So there's additional steps you have to take to lock down the files. It's on our radar this year to figure this out in core. We have kind of unlocked how we think we want to do it. We have a plan for how we want to do it. So this might be a thing of the past, this needing to do this level of protection at the file level, at the server level, outside of WordPress. But I can't promise it. If Jason's watching, he's going to say, why'd you say that? No, maybe not. Yeah.
But even with a PDF, like you could download it and send it to me still.
Yeah, that's true too.
There,
so
I mean,
content protection is a myth.
There's only so many steps that you can take, and we've said it before on other open office hours. I think we've even said it with Jason of there, like at some point, don't worry about people stealing your stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's almost impossible to completely lock it down. Dio did have a follow-up question. I hope I'm saying your name right. I'm sorry. Can I set this restriction to a book category?
So PM Pro includes protections for WordPress post categories and post terms out of the box. I think that we have custom taxonomy and term. Let's try it. There is a snippet on our site to protect custom taxonomies, which is this. The book one is a custom taxonomy. We have to figure out the one. Protect. Okay, and what is it? WPG books, book categories. It's called book_category. This might work. This might not work. We're going to do it quick. All right, book category, report cards for levels. I don't know my level IDs. Let's say 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so this is the snippet. What did I change? There's a section here that allows you to assign for each term in this taxonomy book category, a relationship between the name of the term and the levels that are protected. No, second category are term slugs. Oh, term slugs. Nope. Maybe it's this. I think it's probably that. Okay. And then the array of level IDs that can access it. So let's activate this and see what happens. This is all just playing around for grins. I'm going to say that all the time. My kids are going to say, what are you doing? I'm going to get that warning again, but don't worry. It actually worked. All right. So now it's not protected by level anymore. We're going to put it in the report cards category. I'm going to get that warning. Let's see if it actually added it. I got to turn off warnings on my site. I think that's what Jason was saying. Okay. So now the book is in the category. It probably won't redirect away from it though. It might. I'm guessing that it won't. I think we'll need more recipes here. All right, let me double check that my level IDs are right.
Kim White is testing in the background. And,
oh, good. Race me, Kim.
She's saying that she got a fatal error using the book plugin.
It did redirect me, guys. So maybe it worked. You see, I'm like trying. I don't know if you can see the URL bar of my browser. Can you?
We can.
Okay, so I'm trying to go to the single book, and I'm getting it's a no-go for me. But if I am logged in and I try to go to the book, I get it. So this just might be working. What does the snippet do? It just says you don't have access. Yeah. So I'm going to give this a yes, it's working. It still requires the CPT add-on because that's the thing that's saying to even look at books when I'm looking at access protection. And then that's also the plugin that's saying, and what do I do? Do I still show it to them or do I boot them to the selected page in the thing? So it looks like it's possible. You'd have to set up this array of term information where it's the taxonomy name, the term slug, and then the array of level IDs. But it looks like it works. That's cool. That recipe is restrict by taxonomy is that post on our site. I like that plugin. A lot of people want to do like a video library, like a Netflix library. They never asked to do a library. So that's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, normally it's always like video. It's not, very rarely do we hear about like PDFs and books.
Yeah. It probably has better features. We integrate with something called Download Monitor, which is also download management by level and lots of things you can do there with that. But I think if you pick one as close to your niche as possible, like it's going to have a ton more tools. Like I saw in that one, it had like author and ISBN and, all these things that you would want if you were doing more traditionally books type of downloads. So
Kim, can you drop that recipe post in the chat or Slack it to me or something?
Did that work?
Yes.
And then and it is a protected post. So if you're not a member, you won't see it, but I can get you to our snippets library where it's hosted here. See if that works. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you.
And then we need custom code. Wow. Okay. I teased myself and said we'd end early and it was a total lie.
We know how to talk and keep it going.
Yeah.
Okay, but our next one is another weird week. It's a theme for Q1 for us.
Okay.
So we will not have Kim. We will have Jared Long and Mary Job from our support team doing an Ask Me Anything with me. So I will have them have demo sites up and you guys can throw all of your questions at us. We'll see if we can make it through. It may be more than an hour. We'll see.
They tend to go long.
In Africa, though, so it's going to be a late night for them. But that will be February 22nd that we are going live with Jared and Mary. So that'll be fun. And then we don't have a date for it yet. But when 3.0 is launched for everybody's use, Kim and I are going to be doing a live update marathon to go through all.
There's going to be more than just this on the desk. There's going to be snacks.
We're going to have a cooler. We're going to have snacks. We're going to have comfortable chairs. And we will see just how long it'll take us to get through all of 3.0 when it is released. So that's gonna be fun. Definitely subscribe so you get that news because it's going to be a last minute plan and it's going to just be a lot of fun. Yep. You don't want to miss that. Chris Clark says, can you explain how the courses add-on works? Chris, we do have multiple videos on our YouTube channel about the courses add-on, so you can find that there. We also have a video on how to use Paid Memberships Pro with the Lifter LMS Streamline. And then
or contact us and we can give you a specific,
Our site has lots of documentation on it too.
Yeah.
And always reach out
to existing plans. It depends which setup you're using and how you can re-trigger enrollment. And it's on our minds to do that for Lifter Streamlined if you're using PM Pro with Lifter LMS. If you're using the default courses module, it doesn't work on enrollment, so it'll automatically happen if you add new courses to an existing plan. But we're aware of some hairy situations with that right now that we want to fix up.
So definitely reach out, Chris. Other than that, we will see everybody next time. Thanks for joining.
Perfect. Thanks, everybody.